Hey guys, what's up? KillJoy Jake here, and instead of having friends, I have horror movies. Today I have yet another Scream 5 video talking about the possibility of Stu Macher being alive. Now, although that is a bit of a stretch, I have a few theories I'd like to talk about that I've been reading online. Now, before I get into that though, I'm gonna need you guys to like this video and subscribe for more horror content. Also, please consider supporting me on Patreon. I'm currently working on a Scream fan film that I'm sure you guys are gonna dig. Check that out by clicking the link in the description. Alrighty, now let's get into it.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Well, I'm Pennywise the dancing clown.
Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast!
You son of a...
God, don't do that.
Well, sometimes that is better.
So could Stu return for Scream 5? I mean, it honestly wouldn't surprise me if they found some kind of convoluted way to bring him back, if not from just flashbacks. One of the biggest reveals that we got from the behind the scenes set photos was that Stu's house was going to make an appearance in this upcoming film. Now in the shots that we got, it does kind of look like the house looks exactly like it did in 1996. Or at least how it did in the movie. This is very clearly a set. So maybe we get some flashbacks with Skeet Ulrich and Matthew Lillard just running around being Billy and Stu, poking at each other's guts and all that.
I'm feeling woozy here!
I'll do anything just to see Stu again, if I'm being totally honest. But let's talk about some even more wild theories, like what if Stu Macher is still alive? A fellow horror YouTube channel, Unreal Network, talks about the possibility of Stu being alive. And then they go into detail about how Stu could be running this like Ghostface cult that's coming to kill Sydney and all of her friends. It gets a little wild. Stu would have had to have survived a like gigantic 90s box TV to the face. And although it kind of looks like it's electrocuting him during that, like, would that really electrocute you? You get that really thick glass smashing through your face, that might crack your skull, like it's a pretty heavy ass TV. Another thing about that scene is when he does die, like I think this is just a silly Matthew Lillard character decision, but he does do like a little like, oh, like a little whimper like that. That sounded so gross. That's not at all what I was going for. But like maybe that was him just like knocked out in pain or something, and he's not really dead. Okay, that's a bit of a stretch, I know. Let's not forget though that these are movies, they're not all that realistic. Would people really just up and try to kill the same person 4 different times? No, probably not. So would y'all really be that mad if they decided to bring back a character like this? I know I wouldn't be. Especially not Matthew freaking Lillard. Or how about Jamie Kennedy coming back as Randy? I mean, oh my god, I want to see that. Speaking of other characters who are dead, Kirby. Something that y'all disagreed with me in my comment section about. Wes Craven did hint at her being alive, but as of right now, we don't know if that's true or not. These are all new directors writing a whole new movie, like they could write in that she died in Scream 4. So as of right now, Kirby's fate is kind of like Schrodinger's cat. We don't really know if she's alive or dead until we open the box. But trust me, I would like to see Kirby Reed return to this franchise. I don't think she's gonna come back in Scream 5. I think they probably would have announced it if Hayden Panettiere was gonna come back and play Kirby. I mean, they announced that Judy Hicks was coming back, so like they probably would have announced that. Unless she plays some super important role to the plot where she's still alive and maybe she's the new Ghostface. Honestly, I don't really see Kirby being Ghostface though. She was like way too chill for that. Although she was a big fan of horror movies, so anything's possible. Now this is going a little deeper into retcon territory, but what if Stu has been alive this whole time but like in jail? You'd have to retcon some stuff that happens in the sequels because I'm pretty sure in all 3 of the sequels they talk about Billy and Stu and insinuate that they are dead. Now hear me out on this if they do end up doing this, because I think this would be interesting. In the brief section of the original film where we actually get to just see like Billy and Stu be totally crazy, we learn a lot about both of their characters. Billy is kind of the mastermind where Stu is just kind of like his puppet. I would be one to argue that Stu really isn't even that crazy. He doesn't even know what he's doing really. There's a really poignant line that kind of seems like a joke, but actually has a really deeper meaning on a psychological level.
My mom and dad are gonna be...
He doesn't realize all the horrible things that he's done. And that's probably because Billy peer pressured him into doing all of this.
What's your motive? Billy's got one. The police are on their way. What are you gonna tell them?
Peer pressure.
So maybe like 25 years in jail, he realized the horrible thing that he did, and then like gets out and maybe like has a redemption arc where he like sacrifices himself saving everybody. Might seem a little corny to some, but I feel like it would really work in this franchise. Like that would be really cheesy if they did that in like a real life horror film that's supposed to take place in the real world. But Scream is a series that I feel like is really cartoonish, like it's got that meta humor, like they realize they're in a horror movie. I mean, it's nowhere near as meta as Rick and Morty, where they literally admit that they're in a cartoon and break the fourth wall all the time. But in that first movie, Sidney Prescott complains about why does the girl run upstairs instead of just run through the front door, and then proceeds to do that exact same thing. When you think about it like that, yeah, it's a little silly. Here's the thing though, I feel like if Matthew Lillard was really on set filming with all these people and like had a big role in this movie, someone would know about it. It would at least be a big leak that everyone would be talking about. But even if none of those ridiculous theories are true, we do have to think about what is going to happen inside Stu's house during this movie. Personally, my money is on a flashback scene. If you look at the set, it looks exactly like how it did in the third act of the first movie. But real quickly, let's talk about a different fifth film entry into another franchise that's actually very similar to the Scream franchise. The Final Destination movies. Throughout the entirety of Final Destination 5, you don't really know where it takes place. It almost has like an ambiguous setting the whole time. And then you find out at the end of the film, the whole thing takes place before the first movie. Like literally the last shot is where the first movie begins. Like kind of, because that's like the airplane blows up. Yeah, did I just spoil that for you? Probably. That movie came out in 2011, come on. But what if we get a film that takes place during the original Scream film? But what if Scream 5 actually takes place in 1996 during the events of the original film? But maybe this time around we just see it from someone else's perspective. But bringing it back to Stu, what if there was a third killer all along that we didn't know about? Like what if on top of Billy and Stu there's actually a third killer we never knew about? And maybe that sets up a plot line in present day, where maybe this third mysterious ghost-faced killer is actually killing people again because he got away with it. Where maybe something is revealed about the original case, it's like, wait, this doesn't make any sense, how did this happen? Oh wait, there was a third person who was murdering people. And then maybe this person finds out that they're onto him, so he starts killing people again. He or she, I don't know. All I know is that flashbacks are going to be relevant in this new film, meaning we could be seeing a lot of dead characters again from different perspectives. So even though Stu might be dead and Billy for sure is dead, there's no way they're bringing him back, we might see them again in flashbacks, like in different scenes from the original film we never got to see. So sure, it's not really bringing those characters back, but at least we get to spend some more time with them. And I can at least settle with that. So what do you guys think about all this? Do you think Stu's gonna come back? Do you think we're gonna see him in flashbacks, or like not really? Leave me something about it in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching my new Scream 5 video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more horror content. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at KillJoyJake1, on Instagram at KillJoy_Jake, and on TikTok just look up KillJoy Jake. I might come up, who knows. Also follow my silly second channel where I post a weekly vlog. The link for that will be in the description below, just next to all the other links down there. Speaking of links, support me on Patreon. That's also down there in the description below, if I haven't said that enough effing times. Thanks again for watching, and as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.